Fil-Am veteran, partner eager to pair up with Eala. Sabrina Santamaria and Quinn Gleason expressed their desire to form a future partnership with Filipino tennis star Alex Eala after advancing to the doubles final of the Philippine Women's Open on Friday at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. The American pair defeated Chinese Taipei's Yuyun Li and Japan's Sara Saito 6-2, 6-3 to move into the tournament final, capping another strong showing in a competition being staged in the Philippines for the first time. Santamaria, a Filipino-American whose mother is from Quezon City, said she would welcome the chance to play alongside Alex Eala, calling the rising Filipino star both talented and easy to admire. "It would be amazing," said Santamaria, a California native. "She's a great person and a great player. Hopefully in the near future, it would be great." Gleason echoed that sentiment. She previously faced Eala in doubles at Wimbledon last year and said teaming up with her would be a privilege. "Anybody would be lucky to play with Alex," Gleason said. "She's playing really well in singles and doubles." For Santamaria, the week has also carried personal significance. The 32-year-old is competing in Manila for the first time in 24 years and has been playing in front of relatives and Filipino fans. "The first tournament in the Philippines is so amazing and we're just so excited and pumped to be here," Santamaria said. "The support is really great." Santamaria is seeking her fourth WTA Tour doubles title, one she hopes to win with family members watching from the stands. "I have all my family members here," she said. "My mom is one of 7 siblings, so I have a lot of aunts, uncles and cousins. It's been such a blessing to be here and have their support." Crossing lines. He learned early that lines mattered. White lines on a tennis court. Borders on a map. The thin, invisible line between where you come from and where you're going. Miguel Santos stood at the edge of court 7 long after the sun had begun to dip, his shoes dusted with red clay, his knees humming with the familiar ache of memory. At 34 he was already considered a veteran, of tournaments, of injuries, of a life that demanded constant proof. Fil-Am, they called him, as if hyphens could explain a person. Filipino blood, American training. Manila summers in his bones, California hard courts in his muscle memory. He bounced a ball against his strings and watched it rise and fall, like the tide he remembered from Barangas, where his Lola used to sit and tell him stories about fighters who never quit. Miguel had fought his own quiet wars. He'd played juniors with kids whose parents could buy time, coaches, and patience. He'd learned to stretch scholarship money, to pack meals, to lose with grace and win without noise. The tour had hardened him, sharpened him, and left him a little lonely. Doubles partnerships came and went, temporary alliances built on rankings and convenience, rarely on trust. But lately, one name had been circling his thoughts. Eala. Alex Eala played with a kind of fire that felt familiar. Not loud. Not careless. A fire that came from knowing exactly what it took to be seen when the world wasn't built for you. Miguel had watched her matches in hotel rooms and locker lounges, noticing the calm in her footwork, the way she absorbed pressure and gave it back cleaner, smarter. She played like someone who knew her history. Miguel imagined the rhythm of it, the geometry of their games aligning. His steady net presence, years of doubles instincts carved deep. Her baseline precision, the courage to redirect pace without flinching. Left and right, experience and youth, 2 flags folded into one purpose. It wasn't about salvaging his career. He was past pretending. It was about building something that meant more than rankings. Growing up, Miguel learned to code switch before he learned to serve. At home, Tagalog wrapped around him like warmth. Outside, English came clipped and fast, a shield. Tennis courts were neutral ground, but even there, he felt the weight of explanation. "Where are you from, really? Why do you play like that?" Eala, he sensed, wouldn't ask. She'd know. The first time they spoke, it was brief, polite, professional. But there was a spark in the silence, in the shared nod that said, "I see you." Miguel didn't pitch himself like a salesman. He didn't talk about titles or experience like armor. He talked about trust. "Doubles," he said, "is about listening before you move." He told her how veterans learn to hear the game differently, the breath before a serve, the hesitation in a return, the micro-moments where matches are actually decided. He told her how he believed partnerships weren't about equal fame, but equal commitment. He didn't say it, but he hoped she felt it. This was more than a scheduled decision. For Miguel, pairing up with Eala felt like completing a circle. Two stories shaped by migration, discipline, and expectation. Two players carrying entire communities quietly on their shoulders. He imagined Filipino kids watching late-night streams, seeing themselves reflected in the angles of their rallies, the way they fought for every point like it mattered. Because it did. He knew there was generational gaps, different stages, the whispers that he was trying to stay relevant, that she didn't need him. But Miguel had learned something crucial over the years: relevance fades, purpose doesn't. If they paired up, he'd bring steadiness. He'd bring perspective. He'd bring the unglamorous work, calling plays, absorbing pressure, letting his partner shine without shrinking himself. Veterans don't chase the spotlight. They learn how to aim it. As night finally settled over the courts, Miguel packed his bag slowly. Somewhere across the complex, a ball popped against strings, sharp, confident. He smiled to himself. Lines still mattered. But some lines, when crossed together, became bridges. And Miguel Santos was ready to step forward, racket in hand, not as a lone fighter anymore, but as a partner, eager and certain, ready to meet Eala on the other side of the net. If you want the shorter, more poetic, or more sports journalism style, I can reshape it fast.